Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our special webcast on what to expect at UMDF Mitochondrial Medicine 2025. I'm Kara Strittmatter. I'm the Director of Education and Support Services for the UMDF. And what we'll do today is kind of just get you ready, for those who are attending to come, planning to come to St. Louis in June. So let's just move along. Today, I do want to bring on camera some of my colleagues and some of our planning folks, Margaret Moore and Nicole Wilson, Bethany Bonner, Jenny Hobbs, Cheryl Porter, Ian Corson. These lovely planning ladies have been very much involved with this conference on many levels, and so we may pop them on camera and answer some questions. They'll be able to answer things in the chat if you'd like to throw some things into the chat. So we're going to keep it pretty casual today, but we'll just kind of get you ready for St. Louis. So we're going to jump right over, and this is kind of what we're going to cover today. We're going to go through registration, the UMDF mobile app, conference mobile app, kind of the lay of the hotel land so you can see the meeting space at a glance, day-by-day schedules, clinical research pavilion, all of the programs, the SciMed, Family, Teen, LHON. Doctors in and Ask the MitoDoc panel, what's the difference? If you're new, you may not know what that is, so we're going to explain that a little bit. And then networking opportunities and special sessions and exhibitors and our supporters. And then just some general information about meals and some housekeeping. So I'm going to pop right over to registration. So right now we're at 559 registered and they are still coming in. I was just telling our panelists just before you all popped on the screen that we have registration still rolling in. So I would say we're probably going to be close to 650, give or take, when we get to June 18th. So we're pacing really well for registration. And then the UMDF mobile app, it's a little different this year. We are not using the same platform as we did last year. It's called Cvent that we will be using. We will have a brand, we're working to get a branded app so that you could go to the App Store and you'll end up being able to put UMDF conference in. If you were there last year and you try that, it's still the old app, and so it's not this year's. So you'll see Mitochondrial Medicine 2025. So hang tight. We'll have that ready by June 9th is our target date. Right now, we're testing the app, making sure everything works well. But you'll get an email as a registrant, as an attendee registrant. You'll get an email that'll say, "Hey, we have a mobile app. Open this. Click this button to join the mobile app and start checking out schedules and more." So again, we'll shoot for June 9th to have that ready. So watch for that in your inbox. So our lay of the land, we are on 2 floors at the Hyatt Regency at St. Louis Arch. And on floor 2 is where most of our meals, it's the Regency Ballroom. So Regency Ballroom A through D will be our meals, banquet, coffee and conversation on Saturday morning, and Friday opening session. Regency Ballroom E and F will be the LHON sessions. On Thursday morning, the Mitochondrial Medicine Society will have a special track in there. And then the Regency foyer will be used mostly for the Friday night reception, but it's an open space for people to network outside of the meal room anytime. And then on that floor, we have these smaller Sterling rooms. Sterling 9 is where the teen dinner dance will be. We have some special family break rooms this year. We're going to try to have some comfy furniture in there that you can go and just relax in between sessions if you need to decompress or something like that. Or maybe you met somebody on Thursday night, with the networking, you want to, hey, let's go hang out in the family break rooms for a little bit and take a break. That'll be there all week. We have some, on the map, it says the Hope Garden will be in Sterling 5. That is not the case. I'm going to move that to the floor 4. That's the only thing that's not correct on here. And then the teen sessions will be in, most of the teen sessions, besides the teen dinner dance, will be in Sterling 3. And the rest of those will be just ancillary meetings that are not on the program. Then floor 4 is, that's where a lot of the activity is. So that's where you're going to come to get your registration check-in. That's the speaker check-in. The grand A and B will be the poster sessions, the scientific poster sessions. Grand D will be the scientific main platform sessions will be in there all week. Thursday, Friday will be Grand E for the family sessions. And then on Saturday, Grand E will be the Masterclass Early Career Investigator session track, and the SciMed lunch will be in there. Then Grand F through H will be the Clinical Research Pavilion. We're very excited, got a lot of studies, and Nicole will go into that in a little bit. And then our exhibitors will be in that foyer outside of the grand ballroom. And then Parkview is another one of our larger family session rooms. And Grand C is our Saturday family session rooms as well. As you see, the registration and check-in will be right off of the elevator bays, and fairly easy to find for you to come and check in. In these Mills rooms on the far left of the map, we have a media room, photo media room, which sometimes we'll have interviews, and you may be asked to come to the media room. So I want you to make note of that. Mills 5 and 6 will be part of the Clinical Research Pavilion. It's the Mitochondrial study, and the combined brain biorepository will be located there. As you can see, the restrooms are right very close to the meeting space. And then Mills 1 and 2 is where the dock is will be. And in that little foyer there, it's a little comfy little area. You can't tell from this map, but it has a nice little loungy area that we will probably put the Hope Garden right there. And you can put messages on the message board there, the Hope Garden, and we'll have our lovely gift of the ladybug back. All right, so schedule to glance. Tuesday, that's our pre-con set up for the staff. We have the North American Mitochondrial Disease Consortium has a meeting going that day, but really that's more of our kickoff for the staff to get the doctors registered as they come in. Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday through Saturday is scientific and clinical sessions all 4 days. Clinical Research Pavilion opens on Wednesday through Saturday. And then Thursday, we have our family kickoff, the meet and greet reception and mixers, and the doctor's in starts. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. Patient family sessions are on Friday, LHON sessions, doc is in again, teen sessions, and our accelerator big pitch and evening of energy on Friday. And then Saturday, with patient family sessions wrapping up, LHON sessions, teen sessions, and part of our SciMed sessions there is called a masterclass for up and coming clinicians and early career investigators, and they all will be done after lunch. They'll be gone for the day. That's a schedules at a glance. Now our clinical research pavilion, Miss Nicole Wilson.
Thank you, Kara. So this year we have a lot of activity happening at the Clinical Research Pavilion. So it's going to be a really exciting and busy time to be participating in this. So we are looking for healthy controls and patients who are not, or who are and who are not genetically confirmed can participate in all of the CHOP studies. So that's one of the ones that you can really get in there and be able to help advance some research. For the MitoArc study and the Merlin study, those ones are for patients who have a genetic confirmation, a genetic diagnosis. If that is you and I haven't already reached out to you and talked to you about joining, let me know, and you can send an email to registry@umdf.org, and I can help you get set up in Mitoshare if you're not already, get those genetic tests uploaded so that you can participate in those, and the biorepository, because you'll also need a genetic diagnosis for that as well. So I can help you get started with all of that. Now, if you have genetic testing results and you're unable to get them loaded into Mitoshare for any particular reason, or you have a hard copy and you can't scan them in, anything like that, please know that you can bring those with you to conference, and we'll be able to have those looked over to see if you're eligible and get you signed up during the conference. So don't feel like because you haven't uploaded anything yet that means that you can't participate, because we can work with you and get you in there. Just reach out to me, and I can help you get set up, and I can help you get a time slot selected for any of those, but just so that we know that you're bringing those and we can get you in and ready to go. But the earlier you can do things in Mitoshare, the better, so it's a little bit faster for you to go through and do all of those. But it's really going to be exciting this year. A lot of fun things for you guys to participate and do. So we'll be busy little bees over in the Clinical Research Pavilion, and we would love to have you join our hive. We would love that. So any questions, just let me know at registry@umdf.org.
Thanks, Nicole.
You're welcome.
All right, let's move along to the family program. So I'm going to start with Thursday, and when I may stop and let Margaret and some of her team share information about it. But on Thursday, what we're going to do is it's a lot about clinical trial readiness. As most of you know, there we have some drugs on the horizon. So with drug launches comes a complex landscape. So we're really going to hit a lot of those in that 2 to 3:30 time slot on Thursday. So we hope you can join us and help us learn together about getting ready for this. We're very excited. While there's some disappointments over time, but it's coming and it's going to be exciting, but we have to be ready. So let's get ready together. Um, and then we have our When the Power Goes Out. That's a beginner's talk by Dr. Melissa Walker. So I encourage anyone that's new and just wants to get those basics again. She does a wonderful talk on the basics. And we go into some conversations and connections with the Mito families and the mixer. And then on Friday, we jump into our launch in the morning. It's just all together to learn about UMDF and our state of mitochondrial medicine, learn about our programming, and then the clinical trial updates will happen that later that morning, where we can hear from industry partners and other study coordinators and people that are what's happening in clinical trials and on that clinical trial readiness a little bit further. And then we have these wonderful sessions that our patient advocacy council team helped pull together. And I'm going to have Margaret share, and whoever she wants to bring on with her team, for shared wisdom. Margaret.
All right. I'd like to have Anne and Jenny unmute and show your faces. So the purpose of this session is to provide sort of real life examples on how our patient families move through the journey of diagnosis, care team, transition, government programs, medical interventions, emotional adaptation, and financial planning for for a mitochondrial disease family. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have some actual UMDF support ambassadors who have been around for a while and walked this walk, tell a little bit about their stories. And do you want to talk a little bit about the conversations that you're going to be sharing about transitioning?
Yes, I will. We will be covering the transitioning from early childhood and then out as you age out of the educational system and the transition into adulthood, including where to find help to find physicians, help to find help for yourself, etc. And I apologize for the voice today, but it's something that we've always wanted and always wanted to be able to share, because everybody has a different point of view, but we can all educate each other and find something that someone else may go through and say, ah, they did it this way. I wonder if it could work.
Oh, and of course, I think what's so important about that is that real life experience, and that might help that person in the audience not have to recreate the wheel. I'm going to go on to Jenny and Jenny, can you say a few words about the government programs and what we'll be talking about there?
Yes. So I guess I've been dubbed the Medicaid expert because I worked with that for almost 10 years. But beyond just Medicaid, how to help your insurance be partnered with potentially other government programs that might be available to you or your family to kind of fill in the gaps of your private insurance. And so we'll talk about what all those are, how to find them for your state, sort of what the rules are federally, and all of that. So yeah.
Well, and this is such a daunting area for many families, but especially our newly diagnosed. They don't even know the programs exist. So this will be an opportunity for us to hear about this, but also hear about it from someone who's accessed those programs. I'm really excited about this. Other highlights will be Dr. Amy Goldstein and Elizabeth McCormick from CHOP. They're going to be talking about medical interventions and then different things that that genetic counselors may be involved in. So we're excited about it, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you. Thank you all. And then the next session I want to talk about is beyond the diagnosis, addressing loss, mental health, and palliative care for mitochondrial disease patients. We have a great group of speakers for that track. We have Dr. Ava Morava-Kosiks and Ibi El Shakraway. they will be talking about, basically mental health and the connection with mitochondrial disease patients, giving you that kind of laying that groundwork of that connection. And then we have a palliative care specialist from the St. Louis area, Dr. Erin Hickey, who will explain what palliative care is and what it isn't. And then Jackie Light will be addressing loss. She's going to have some coping mechanisms and really exciting. Whoops, click too fast. Really excited about that session because I think she's really going to have some great tools for the families to learn how to cope and about loss in general. There's many faces of loss, as we all know, with mitochondrial disease. Then we roll into the Ask the MitoDoc panel session, which of course I'll go into a little bit further later, but that's always a favorite. We'll have 4 doctors on a panel for that. Saturday, again, kicking off with coffee and conversation, and supporting strength and function is with our physical therapists and occupational therapists, which they will kind of lay that groundwork on the best ways to support your strength and function as a mitochondrial disease patient. And then later, they'll roll right into that tools that help. We have a gentleman from Paraquad in St. Louis, and he's going to bring some equipment and technology to share. So we're hoping to have a little bit of interactive and maybe almost like a little show and tell from the physical therapists and occupational therapists in Rush. So looking forward to that session. And then the ICU management wraps up with Dr. Divakar Mithal. But I'm going to back up and go to the chaos to clarity. And Bethany, do you want to share a little bit about that session?
Sure, yeah. So from chaos to clarity has some similarities to the shared wisdom, but it's more focused on the preparation for important appointments and organization of information overload. We noticed in our department an influx of repeat questions and concerns, such as managing just an influx of information and feelings of overwhelm, managing appointments and staying organized and just even making space for absorption in really important appointments. So the goal of this session is to tap into our ambassador panel's expertise in this realm, and we'll also have Dr. Sinedo giving the physician perspective on patient efficiency, essentially. So the goal is to not pretend like we have all the answers to make this a perfect, easy thing to tackle, but to hopefully have this multi-perspective discussion on just making certain processes more efficient for people and sharing these different perspectives so people can take what they like and roll with it in their own care journey.
Excellent.
So of everybody here, Jenny is on that panel. So I didn't know if you wanted to add anything, Jenny, or if I covered it.
I think the only thing I would add is that all of us have very different methods. We're not like here to teach one method, but based on like what works for your personality, just where you are in your care journey, how many people are involved. So we hope that we just offer a wide variety of things so that you can make your own.
Excellent. Thank you, Jenny and Bethany. And then also just wanted to make note that LHON sessions will be running concurrently Thursday afternoon through Saturday. And we will be doing a webinar. The LHON team will be organizing committee will be doing a webcast for that as well. And what we'll do is this is being recorded, that's being recorded. So we'll share that post webcast so that people can watch it at their own time. Because I know there's not a ton of people that could come here during the day, and there may not be people that join the LHON either, but they will be recorded and available for people to catch up and see what to expect. All right, then moving on to the teen program. Miss Margaret, you're back on.
All right. Well, as always, the teen program is really a highlight of our conference. It's just one of the most joyful things that you'll ever experience. And we're going to be kicking off with a casual day, a casual craft activity. They're going to make mitochondrial shrinking keychains. So you might just see me sneak in there and make one for myself too, because I think it's such a cool activity. And then moving on to Friday, some of the highlights are always the roundtable discussion with Dr. Amy Goldstein. This is Any questions goes and no parents allowed. An opportunity for our young people to ask questions about their health that maybe they haven't had an opportunity to do before. We have some service dogs coming. It's not tentative anymore. We have 2 service dogs and their trainers that will be there to interact with our kiddos. We'll be doing some other fun activities. We have a music therapist coming. We're going to be doing some performing arts, some sort of drama trainings on Friday. And then Saturday's all about fun. We're going to be doing a life-size board game, some yoga. We have and some role playing and all about me activity. And then we're going to have a pretty serious conversation with Jackie Lade, who is a licensed clinical social worker. She's going to be talking with the teens about school, what it's like at school, what it's like with friends, bullying, any kind of social supports, all wrapped into a fun art activity. And then we're going to wind up with a little bit more of on the drama side, with some improv activities as the conference wraps up. Then they'll go to lunch and go home. And oh, how could I forget? Friday night, the dance/prom. We'll have karaoke and lots of fun. So the theme, I believe, is Hollywood. So there will be some Oscars that are going to be shared that evening. So it should be a good time for all. And that's about teens.
I love it. I didn't know there was going to be Oscars given. All right. Let's move on to the Doctors In. So the Doctors In program's been around since 2002 with the UMDF conference, started in Dallas. And basically, this is an opportunity to meet with a mitochondrial specialist one-on-one. There, you have to sign up for it. It's 15-minute slots. You can only sign up for one, but it gives people a chance to meet doctors and mitochondrial specialists that aren't in their backyard, that they just have that opportunity to meet them and ask some general questions. It is not to form a patient-doctor relationship, and there will be things that they can't answer because they shouldn't without knowing more about the patient. But it is a great opportunity to really ask some of those questions that you've been wanting to ask a mitochondrial specialist, but just haven't had the opportunity. Those signups should start, they'll be through the app. It says by June 7th. That's not going to happen because I haven't updated that, sorry. It would be June 9th is when we'll launch the app. But the digital signups, we may not have those active in the app until closer to the meeting, but we will send out a notification to all attendees that it has opened, that you can sign up. So that's the Doctors In. The other difference in the Doctors In program this year is typically we did Friday, Saturday. This year we're not doing anything on Saturday. It's Thursday, Friday is when we're doing the Doctors In this year. So that's the other difference compared to previous years. And then the difference between Doctors In is Ask the Mito Doc. Ask the Mito Doc is just, it's a panel. You're in a session meeting room. There's 4 doctors at a table in the front of the room. And it's just like our monthly Ask the Mito Doc when we have panels. It's rapid fire. You're asking questions. Margaret will have some questions that are submitted ahead of time. So you can submit questions ahead of time. Even if you're not going to be there, you can submit a question. We will not be offering it virtually this year just due to technical issues. It's very difficult to do to get a good sound system for patients on the other end to really hear and understand the questions. So, but you will be able to watch it post-conference, as with almost all of our patient family sessions. They're all being recorded and will be on MitoU post-conference on our YouTube playlist. And we have Dr. Bruce Cohen, Dr. Jaya Ganesh, Dr. Jennifer Yang, and Dr. Sonal Sharma, who are on this panel this year. And then networking and special sessions. So we always like to have those times where you can network and get to know each other. And when it's funny because this year we added through our patient PAC team, we decided let's start early and have conversations and connections earlier on Thursday, so you can really start connecting right away, not have to wait till Saturday morning to make those networking connections by table discussions. So we'll start that on Thursday this year. And of course, along with the Thursday meet and greet reception. And the meet and greet will happen on that on that floor 4 where the poster sessions are happening. So really you can go check out the posters and even mingle with the scientific and clinical community that evening as well. And then geographic lunch seating, we always do that on Fridays just to give families a chance to get to know people in their area. And the doctors and scientists a lot of times sit at those regional tables by state. So you get to know some folks, some researchers and clinicians in your state or region as well. The evening of energy banquet will be going on. Now back to the meals on the seating is geographic on Friday, but please note we will have tables that are marked to our LHON community. It makes it easier for them to have the same place to sit all week. So we do have some tables that are reserved for them, just so they have the same place to go back to each meal. Then backing up to the evening of energy banquet, we'll have a lot of fun activities for that. We're going with and I know everybody's like, well, nobody knows what Meet Me in St. Louis is. It is an old time movie. We're going with the carnival theme. I'm a big Judy Garland fan, so of course I love it. So it should be a lot of fun, and we'll have a cash bar, popcorn, a caricaturist, and the photo booth. So a lot of fun stuff happening on Friday night. And then Saturday's coffee and conversation. Again, roundtables of discussion topics. Our ambassadors and volunteers will be there with those tables and to really generate some great conversation. Our fundraising team from UMDF will have a table. So, hey, if you're a fundraiser and you like to do events, make sure you're talking to our team about that and share what your interests are. And then the Saturday closing lunch, we will have a children's choir local to St. Louis that will come and give us a little entertainment to close out the week. So we're really excited about our networking and special sessions. And I cannot thank these sponsors enough. Make sure that while you're at conference, please stop by, thank our sponsors. They make these things happen. They're the ones that are bringing drugs to trial. They're the ones that support our educational and support activities. So please take time to say thank you to them. We have Edith Trees Charitable Trust, UCB, Abliva, Children's Hospital Philadelphia, Baylor Genetics, Tacenta Therapeutics, Sale Therapeutics, Akron Children's, Summit Health Chemistry RX, BPG Bio, Haggerty Family Foundation, NADMED, National Institutes of Health, Pretzel Therapeutics, and Berry Entix. So make sure you stop and say thank you for being there. We're going into continental breakfast, breaks, and meals. You will at registration, if you in registration put some kind of special dietary, like you're a vegetarian or gluten-free, we will have dots that we will put on the back of your name badge. So those will be on your name badge, and you'll be able to show that to any of the hotel. We will be sharing that ahead of time of what those mean to our hotel staff and concierge, so they know, what to expect. If you say, hey, I need this, you can show them your color dot and they'll help you out. The continental breakfasts are typically bread, pastries, yogurt, and fruit. So if you want any eggs and bacon, you're going to have to do that on your own before you come. Unfortunately, that's all we can do for you for the continental breakfast. Thursday's mixer is not a meal. It will be light appetizers. So I didn't want you to think, oh, reception, I'm going to go and wait and not eat all day and have lots of food. No, it's light appetizers. So please plan accordingly. All right. And then a little housekeeping. Always got to have the housekeeping for, especially those that are new. Dress in layers. Meeting rooms at hotels can be very cold. It's very hard to regulate those meeting rooms. So we always suggest dress in layers so that you can stay warm in the meeting rooms, and then you can always take it off if it gets warm after a while. Wear comfortable shoes because you're going to be kind of on the go going between session to session. So wear comfortable shoes. There will be a wheelchair rows in each meeting room. To view closed captioning, make sure you sit up close in the meeting room. Don't sit way in the back. It's going to be hard to read that screen. And again, we are going green. So all the information will be in the mobile app. We will have links to printable hard copies if you want to print those ahead of time to bring with you. We may have a few at registration or just some samples for you to be able to come by and look and say what's going on. Staff can help you out with that. But for the most part, we are going green. So we really encourage you to go into the mobile app and start learning it as soon as we open that up. We will have buttons for new attendees. Like if this is your first conference as a patient family, we have buttons that says I'm new. That way it can help people get to know you and reach out to you. So make sure if that's your first meeting, grab a button. So it'll help us get you connected. For those who need scooters and had ordered those on your registration, They will be available to be picked up on Thursday at registration and must be returned by 2:30 on Saturday. All right, now what next we have getting to the hotel. The conference hotel is the Hyatt Regency at St. Louis at the Arch. I have these links. We can share these slides post-conference unless Bethany can copy and paste them into the chat. And then the St. Louis Lambert International Airport's where you'd fly in. It's approximately 14 miles to the Hyatt. Encourage you to do shared rides. If you know other attendees are coming around the same time, make arrangements, meet them, so that you can share a ride to the hotel. Parking is not, in any hotels, not cheap. It's expensive to park. We do encourage you to check out spothero.com or other options near the hotel to maybe get a better price for if you're going to be there all week and parking. And then I believe that's it. So we could have questions if people have questions for us. All right. Well, I thank you all for joining us. And if you think of something after the conference or after this webcast, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of us. You can always just even go mitomed@umdf.org and I'll get it to the right person if I can't answer your question. Okay. All right. Thank you all and have a great day.